Okay, that looks good. All right. Now I'm trying to figure out where I put my items. Okay. All right, I'm here. I'm sorry I am late. There was some just issues with life. Life has issues. So I'm not too bad. I was hoping to come on at 8:30 at whatever time it is, 6:30. I still have a mess in here. I'm waiting for my new pressing table and there we go. Hey, hello. Thunderstorm ended our party early, so I'm here. Haha, yay! Welcome everyone. So we're here. I'm again. Oh, the cat and dog are playing. I apologize for being late. But we are here. We're gonna get started. We're gonna get making some. Oh, we're gonna get started. We're gonna make our third block of the flower block sampler. So this is what we're making for Flower Farm Sampler. So you need the book in order to follow along because we're not giving you any cutting instructions because I can't. It's not my book. All right, I have everything cut out. I got it done last night, slightly late, but it's done and I'm happy. So just a crazy couple of days. And we might most likely get interrupted while we're sewing this together. We may not get the whole block together. I'm 20 minutes behind, but I'll be sitting to sew shortly. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the time. It is being recorded on our YouTube channel, Quilts for Survivors. You can always check it out there. If you have the book, you have the instructions, and you can just sew it. So we're just going to sew. I am expecting a delivery. It's kind of important, so I do have to. When they call, they're supposed to call an hour before they come, and then we'll see how it goes. But hey, stop that! Get out of there! Hey, get out of there! Hang on. I don't have a spray ball in here. Cat's in something. Get out of there. Hey. Okay, my room is kind of a mess. There's stuff all over the floor because my pressing table is gone. All right, no worries. Oh, so I just need to breathe. Okay, today was an absolutely wonderful day. We had lots of people in again. We had lots of people in yesterday too. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful day to be at the studio. I made a couple of blogs. I taught a class. I planted flowers. I answered emails and chatted with people. And we put up a design wall, which I will show you probably tomorrow when I do my live. If I can't do the live on Facebook, because Facebook's been giving me some issues, then we'll just go with a different platform. I'm thinking of using YouTube now because it seems to be working better for us. And we'll just see how it goes, okay? All right, so we're gonna make the third block, which is actually this block right here. And depending on what fabric you're using, your block will look slightly different if you're not using her specific fabrics. I'm using Tulip Pink Roar fabric line, and that's how I'm making my fabric, my quilt. So I'm really excited. So I thank you for coming on and for waiting for me. I really appreciate that. Let's get sewing. So the first thing we need is we're going to make some 4-patch blocks, a nice fun block, something that I'm sure we've made millions of times. And it's a good fun block and it adds a little bit of pizzazz to any block. I think it's great. And it's one of the blocks that many of us probably was one of the first blocks we learned. So we need B fabrics, the letter B like bunny, and the letter I. Yeah, each I. Okay, so B squares, and we sew 2 at a time. We make 2 blocks at the same time. So we're gonna make 4 patches per block. So 8 4-patches together, and then we're gonna grab our eyes. So my B is the little eggs, and my I is the background. So my background is pure white. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So that should be okay. So we're gonna start with our beads on the left side and our background fabric on the right side, and then on the bottom is the opposite. So we're just going to sew those together, just like we do with any 4-patch. Nice and simple. 1/4 inch seam all the time. And we're just going to sew. So again, no cutting instructions because it's all cut up. I can't give you them. It's not my pattern. So I can only give you some information on how to sew this together. So start with, get the book. It's really easy to follow along. I just know I was saying that I was going to do this and some of you wanted it so long. So that's why we're doing that. I sew at my regular speed, my regular pace. If I make a mistake, you're going to see it. So let's hope we don't run into any issue. But like I did mention, I do have a delivery. They are supposed to call an hour before they get here. They were supposed to be here at 5. They are still not here. I'm beyond frustrated with this company, but anyways, we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. Right. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, stop it. They're being really nutty tonight, these cats. And on everybody. Right. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't seem to have really. Oh, okay, wait. Oh, no. Those are the so in the seam. Well, I don't know. Hey, Bunny, don't eat that. This dog has been finding everything and everything. No. And she doesn't listen. I should have brought the gate up so they couldn't come in here. Get out. Don't eat that. What is that? What are you eating? Why are you eating that? Oh my gosh. Crazy. Absolutely bonkers. I kind of wish my child had not put stuff on the floor. They could have just piled it up on a desk or something. I didn't have to put them on the floor. But anyways, it's fine. So these blocks, it seems like they're very consistent. I can't wait for smaller blocks. Yes, I agree. Like this is our last, yeah, this is right. This is the last big block. Yeah, then the other ones are 16 and a half unfinished. These are 24 and a half unfinished, which is huge. That's, I don't know what it is. I think that's a really big block. And I'm excited to make the smaller ones too. Maybe, and I think the smallest is a 4-inch finished block, so that's not too bad. They'll go a lot faster. These blocks are massive and they take a little longer. But the nice thing about doing the big blocks first, so I was watching a lot where they were talking about, they were actually talking to the author of this book, and she's providing some sew-alongs, and they were talking about, I might have an extra back out. Oh no, I don't. And they were talking about the book. So if you want to start, if you want to build your skills, you start at the back of the book with the smallest blocks and you work your way up. If you want to, you can really do it any way you want. But if you start at the front of the book, like we're doing, then you're cutting all of your big pieces of fabric first, which is not, because then when you get, if you do it from the other way, you might not have big enough pieces to cut your fabric depending on what fabrics you're using. So they did say it was kind of easier going from the front to the back. So it'll get easier as we go along. These first few blocks are going to be not overly difficult, but definitely long and definitely time consuming and definitely a lot of fabric. So there's my lovely chain piecing, all of my fun blocks. Oops. All right, I do feel a little bit flustered, I think is the word I'm looking for, because I'm my studio is a mess. It's not usually this messy, and I just feel it. But I think when my pressing station comes, it'll be really nice. So I'm going to cut these apart because I think that I messed up on some of them. I know that I messed up. So I'm just going to cut them apart. Not that I was trying to sew like the top and the bottom so that they could easily be sewn together, but I didn't do that all the time. So I got them a little bit mixed up. Right. So now, oh, my iron is getting stuck in between my tables. All right, next purchase is a new sewing table. I think is the next big purchase for the sewing room, is to get a nice cutting table. Or a large sewing table that I can sew on. This works, kind of works. But my machine doesn't, I wanted it to sink into the table and it doesn't. And there's only a couple of options for it to sink into the table. And none of them work with my particular machine. So I would like a new one. And I think I'll donate this one to the studio and have it there for someone to sit at. It's a great little desk. It just doesn't work for my machine. Love your gray and I don't know what it says. Your gray and teal. Oh, okay. Gray and teal. So I am doing okay. But I do feel a little flustered. So just bear with me. We're going to get the hang of this. But I haven't sewn either for a while because I was gone and I did teach today and I sewed a little bit. I didn't get my second block finished, but that's okay. Because I was busy helping and teaching and sharing the knowledge of quilting. All right. So now what we're going to do is you're going to have a bunch of these sewn together. Okay. So we're going to now count even them 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'm counting them. I have my 8 for the top. So my B fabric is on top left and my B fabric on the bottom is on the bottom right. So I want to make sure that it's a 4 patch, that they're in opposite corners, and then I'm just going to sew them together. Press everything to the dark side, to the darker fabric. And I'm just going to stitch them together. We should get 8 4 patches. 8 4 patches. And if you need more instructions on making these, it's on page 21. No, spinning seams. Oh, I don't want to spin seams. I don't spin my seams. I just press them really flat. I have spun them. I don't see the point in doing that. If you want more information on that, that's on page 21. I will not be showing that part because I don't sew that way. And as I've said many times, patterns are just a suggestion. If something you do is easier for you or works better for you, then do that. And these should finish at the unfinished 5.5. These are going to be 5.5 inch units. So if you feel that they're wonky, you can do that. Stitch down, 1/4 inch seam, and I love to chain piece. I'm just chain piecing along here. We will get together again next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I don't think I have anything planned. So we'll be together Wednesday at 6. Next Wednesday, that's the 2nd of July. Can you believe it? It's almost July. Like that just blows your mind. I don't know about you, but it blows my mind. I'm just what? Yep, definitely mind blowing here. All right, one more to do, and we're done these, and then we'll press these. We can check them to make sure that they're 5.5 inches square. I'm sewing. I have some little scraps here you can see. They're just cutoffs of half square triangles, and I'm just going to use them as my leaders and enders. I'd like a bonus block. So I don't like to cut my thread if I don't have to. Okay. And when I'm working with you guys, it's easier for me if I don't sew like a bonus block. So I just sew sew a bonus block. Don't continue sewing other pieces of the block. But normally I would just sew something else. I would add something else. Sometimes you can do that, sometimes you can't. So then we're going to press and just press whichever way it wants to go. I'm pressing it up. Seems happy that way. I'm not pressing any seams open. So my other pressing, it wasn't even a pressing table. It was an island, a kitchen island that I bought. And it was like a kitchen cart, I guess, because it had wheels and pushed around. And I use it as my ironing station for, I don't know, since I brought my ironing board to the studio. When did I bring it to the studio? In September. I brought it to the sewing retreat. I said, oh, that's mine. And then someone it ended up at the studio, and I just never brought it home. And anyways, the cats used to be in front of the windows, and the cats love sitting on. Now they're all lost and confused because they don't know where to sit. Let's see what it says. Home and sitting at my machine now. I am not that far behind. No, you're not, because I'm going a little slow. We got to remember I had a very busy day, and I was a little bit like, flustered. So I'm taking it a little slow, and if we don't get it done, you'll have time to finish it on your own. I'll finish it on my own, or I'll come back, or whatever. We're going to do our best, but we're not going to worry too much about it. So these have to be 5.5 inches square. Oh, which they are. This one's a little bit crooked. And you'll see I have extra stuff on my table because it was all in this island that I got rid of. And Kat, I had promised it to Kat if I ever got anything else, anything different. They always wanted it. So I promised it to them. I think these are okay. That one probably didn't even need to be trimmed that much. Okay. I think they're good. Like, they're not off by a lot. And I don't think any of them are really wonky. Oh, maybe a little bit more. Oh, maybe a little bit. Yeah, just a bit. I guess since I checked them, I'm gonna continue to keep checking. Although most of them are fine. It's nice when they become when they're the size you want them to be. I hate it when I still make blocks that are a little bit, you're like, it's not quite to that 5.5 inch line. You're like, frustrated. These aren't so bad. And it's just one side that's just a little bit wonky. But the centers look good. And it's going together really well. I'm very pleased with myself. Okay. Oh, I almost put that in my drink. I should move my drink out of the way. I almost put the garbage in the beverage. Not a good plan. Okay. So now we're gonna still use these 4 patches, and we're going to start sewing on the sides. So these are rectangles that we're sewing. I'm gonna actually just put this underneath. So we need E fabric, which is cut from, this is fabric 5, E and D. So E goes on the side and D will go on the bottom. So E is smaller than your bottom rectangle. And we're going to sew these. Just make sure that you look at your book, look at your pattern, and your 4 patches are all going the right way. Otherwise, it will mess up your block. Won't look the way it's supposed to. There's no right or wrong, but we do. So we're going to sew all our E's, and then we will sew our D's. Okay. All our E's and then our D's. And we still have to do some stitch and clip corners on this. Quarter-inch seam, and again, just chain piecing along. So let me see, let's see. The can we talk about? Quilt Canada went really well. I did mention that a little bit. If you don't know, Quilt Canada is the national quilt show. It's put on once a year, and they jump from city to city and province to province. And because I work for Quilts for Survivors, we have a booth every year. And we've got, well, not every year. We've had a booth for the last 4 years because we're going into our 5th year. A date with Jack. If not, definitely. And we've really enjoyed that. And I've met so many wonderful volunteers who help with Quilts for Survivors, so many amazing people. And I love it. We had a great time. This year we were collecting binding. We didn't receive what we were reaching for. We were reaching for 1.6 billion inches of binding. Like, that's crazy, crazy, crazy. Like, I don't even think we would have been able to bring it all home. And we couldn't even bring it all home, and we only got 1.1 million, a little over 1.1 million. So it was amazing, just the amount of support that's out there. And I think people have fun making their binding and seeing how much they can make. I think our longest continuous is what I want to say. Binding was 66, over 6,600 inches. So 6,600 and something inches was our largest binding that we received. That's all sewn together, and it was pressed. So that was a lot of fun. And most of it is sorted out and put away. We had, I don't know, 6 or maybe 6 people sorting the binding to get it all put away. That was a lot of fun. And while they were doing that, one of our volunteers was sewing labels on the quilts that didn't have any labels. Our staff were doing all kinds of things, they were helping too and organizing. So some of them were sorting them out into bins by color. So, reds with reds and purples and greens and orange, whatever. And then, I need a bonus block. And then Hendrik was filling up our binding carts. We have a cart with 12, I think, bins in it, and it has all the different bindings sorted by color. So you grab a quilt that needs binding, and then you sew it on one that you think you like or one that will fit, and then you sew it on. And he was filling those up. So those are nice and full. And then they stored the bins in the fabric room, all sorted by color. But we haven't even sorted them all out yet because we didn't have them all. There was a wonderful couple Heather and Steve, who took some home for us, and there's arrangements to pick it up from them on Thursday. So they'll meet us, I guess, what's halfway for everybody. And we're really grateful that they're able to do that for us, that they did that for us, because we were full. My car was full. Our board member's car was full. It was her minivan, and she took out a lot of her seats so that she had room, and it was really full. We got everything home, so are almost home. So we're very grateful to everyone. Very, very grateful. I don't know what happened to my fabric that I bought. I'm really hoping it's in these bags and boxes that are coming on Thursday, because I don't know. I don't know where they are. All right. So now you're going to have your 8 pieces that look like this. So make sure your 4 patches the right way, and make sure that your E fabric is on the right side. Okay. This didn't press right. I still want it pressing halfway one way and halfway the other way. You'll find it. I know it's out there somewhere because it wasn't in the booth, and it was crazy, and there was so much stuff. So I'm sure it's somewhere. I just haven't found it yet. And it's okay, because do I need it right now? No. For peace of mind, yes, but in reality, no. But it's all I bought was a bunch of fat corners. So it's not like I bought $80 scissors or something, or a big sewing machine I need to find. Okay, so now I'm sewing on the D. And I'm using Tula Pink Roar fabric to make this with some solids. So a white background, a Northcott white background, and some Tula Pink solids. If I could, I would buy bulks of Tula Pink solid just because I really enjoy the colors. I have to reach out to a supplier and be like, hey, I will take a bolt of whatever, some kind of Tula Pink fabric. I just really enjoy her fabric. Oops. I don't know what she'll try to work. So she can come up the stairs. She can't go down the stairs, Bunny. So if she's stuck up here, she's stuck here. Now she can go down the stairs. She just refuses to go down the stairs. But when you try to help her to go down the stairs, she gets mad. So, hey, stop that. Don't bark. I don't want her to bark. I don't want her to be one of those dogs that bark. Oh, I planted flowers. So yesterday, well, I don't know if I ever even talked about this, but at our studio there was flower boxes out by. So you come up, I think, 5 stairs, and there's a ramp, but out there's a flower box, and it was full of weeds. I think there might have been 3 tulips, but they never bloomed. They didn't do anything. And I was going to plant tulips, like clean it out and plant, because you have to plant your bulbs in the fall, right? And I was going to do that. I never got around to getting it cleaned out. And then it got taken out by the plow in the winter. I don't know what this plow was doing, but he totally wrecked it. The one side just took it right out. And we needed to fix it. Well, these 2 young boys came in yesterday for Youth Day, and fixed it up. We had a handsaw for something else in the studio, and they like fixed it, and they nailed it, and they filled it with dirt that I had bought. They weeded it. It was great. Kat had said, buy some orange flowers. So I bought orange marigolds, and I bought some other flower. I don't know what it is, but they were orange and yellow. I thought they were really cute. So I planted those. Those are just annual. And then I planted, lupins. I was going to say, can't remember it's lupins. And those are perennials. So they'll come up every year, and they come up like mad. So eventually I think we'll just have a bunch of lupins around our yard, which will be really fun because they're really pretty. And they look really nice. So I'm excited about that. So those are planted. They got watered. I put the sprinkler on, and they got watered, which was great. And then we just have some veggies to plant, and we'll see how it goes. So we're doing well. Our strawberries look okay. I don't think there's much of a harvest the first year for strawberries. So we'll see how it goes. But it was good. It was really good. The volunteers were busy doing all kinds of things today as well. I'm trying to think of what to do. We put up the design wall, which is amazing. We bought this off of Etsy. It's a black, I don't even know what kind of material it is. It's kind of stretchy, but not super stretchy. But you can pin things. It's different than these design walls, the ones behind me. And it's huge. It's huge. It is, I think she said 8 feet by 9.5 feet or something. It's big. It's huge. Anyways, and it's a great. I have all my pieces sewn together. So these are corner blocks. And it's great because you don't have to pin, which I thought was wonderful. So no pinning. And we made a frame for it with wood. Well, I didn't make the frame. One of our volunteers, Marcy, made a frame out of 1x4s, and her brother put it up. We were trying to do like a miter corner, like a 45. It wasn't working. So it's just up there. It doesn't matter. It looks amazing. But we painted the wood in a turquoise color, and against the black, and then the clear stained wood. Absolutely amazing. It looks so good. I'll have to post a picture of it. So there's your block. That's how it's going to look. So that is the corner. I'm trying to get everything to press nicely. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So there we go. And I always like to set my seams, roll them back, and move on, So that's what I'm doing. So I had a late lunch. So I didn't even have supper yet. So I taught a class. Then at 4:30-ish, around 4:30, we started teaching a class, and we had our volunteers were cutting kits, and they were trying out our Accu cutter, and they were cutting churn dashes. Ever easy to put a churn dash together when you don't have to, thank you, I love the fabric too, when you don't have to cut anything or cut anything apart or trim anything down. It was great. It's a lot of fun. So they had a lot of fun making those, and everyone made one. They really enjoyed it. They didn't think they could make that, and lo and behold, they could. So it was absolutely wonderful. All right. So we're just gonna keep pressing these. There's 8 of them. I know some people only make one at a time, so you'd make 4 if you're only making one block at a time. I make both because I'm just very busy. And if I don't do it now, I have to take time out somewhere else to do it. So I'm going to try to just do them all now. So those are our corners of our blocks. Isn't that pretty? I think it looks really, really nice. And this fabric is has a border on it. So I just cut this part of it and left the border for some other part. And these should finish at 9. I'm not going to trim them down because we have to do the stitch and flip corners, and I'll trim it down after that because there's no point for me, the way I sew, there's no point for me to check it now because it's easier just to check it after that. And I've learned that over the years when I want to trim things, when I don't, because I know how I sew and I know where I need some assistance. It's not that hard because we just have to finish the stitch and flip corners, then we have to do the center, and then we just have to sew it all together like an eye patch and we're done. So let's keep going. So we're going to take our H blocks, which should be background. Okay. Somebody's doing something. All right. Oh, and our A block is just an A block. Okay, awesome. All right, so we're going to take H and we're going to put this in the corner. We're going to put one here and one in the upper right corner and one in the lower left corner. And we're going to stitch on the line from corner to corner. You can draw the line. I'm going to use my diagonal seam tape so that I don't have to draw them. Really, really love my diagonal seam tape. So put that on. So because they do not touch, you can sew both of them before you do any pressing and trimming. So again, I'm going to start with the upper right corner. I'm going to make sure that it all lines up in the corner so it's nice and straight here and on the side, and then I'm going to stitch from corner to corner on a diagonal right on the line. There's no, and then you trim a 1/4 inch away from your stitch line, and then you cut it, and that's how you get all of these extra triangles. Let's do another one. I'm going to do all 8 of them. I don't need H for anything else. Oh, no, we do. You're not going to use all of your H blocks. Unless you counted 16, you're not going to use block. Okay? So just keep that in mind. I didn't count mine, so I just grabbed some. I just grabbed the whole pile. So we won't be using them all right now. We will use some later on. Should I press this one again? There's quite a bit of a crease in there. Hi, Bunny. I'm always trying to find ways that will help me sew better will help me, improve and be a little bit more consistent, a little bit more accurate. And one thing that I love is this diagonal seam tape. I'm very visual, so it gives me something to look at. So I like that. So again, making sure it's lined up in the corner and then stitch down. And I did not square these. I will square them after I do this. I just find that it's easier. So we're going to stitch. I'm just doing a bonus block. And I'm going to separate all these. I'm going to cut all these apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. And because my two corners are not touching, I'm going to do them both at the same time, trim and press at the same time. So now we're going to do the other corner, this opposite corner. So you're going to do the opposite corner. We're going to line it up here. And again, we're going to stitch from corner to corner on the diagonal. You can draw the line, press the line, whatever works for you. I'm using, again, the diagonal seam. And as long as you're sewing from one side of your block to the other side and not into the center, you know your piece is on right. And just look in the pattern for the diagram there. If you need it, it's there. So I'm not showing everything because it's in your book. In the pattern. If you don't have the pattern, there's still time to get it. It's a fairly new book, and it's called Flower Farm Sampler. It's by Shelley Cavanagh, and that's who it is. And it's her block, it's her pattern that we are making. Can't give you any of the cutting instructions. That's again is pattern. And anyone who's sewing along has purchased their own book. So just remember to respect copyright laws and the people who design these wonderful patterns. Because I know that I want to keep getting them. I really like them. The block we're working on today is block 3. It's called Love in a Mist, and it's a 24.5-inch unfinished block. Oh, I wonder what you're eating over there. I'm just going to stop for a minute. I'm going to go check on what Bunny's eating. Right back. Because she is a little stinky pup. What are you doing? Oh, you stink. Stop it. Yeah. You know how you find all these things, especially when the cleaners were here today. How do you find all these things to nibble on, you funny dog? Okay, back to sewing. My dog is very funny. Right. So again, remember, you're not going to use all your H squares in this round. There will be some left for future use. This bug in the cat. Silly dog. I have one more to do. Then I'm going to trim them all and press. No, she gives pressing instructions. Repeat with 8 units. Let me see, page 10. It says press out. Yeah, she does. She says press away. Oh, my camera moved here. Or didn't move. Didn't move with me. Oh, come on. Oh, this thing is being annoying. Okay, hang on a second. I think it's because the sun shone in and there we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. These are the best books. She does great. I can't wait for another one to come out. Hoping, anyways. I believe she's working on another one, but I think she says it takes 2 years. I think it was 2 years for a book to come out. But I know she's working on another one. I know that. She said that. She does have an earlier book too. Not the same as these, but she does have a book out before Barnstar. So these are H. I'm going to put these back. I don't need them right now, so I'm going to put them back. Just easier if I just put them back. Such a long wait. Yes, it is a long wait, but I guess that's how it works. I don't know. I don't write books, so I don't know. But it definitely is where it gives you time to make the quilt, to make, to really use the book, I guess. Get a couple of quilts made, maybe a couple of blocks, and then if you need to go downstairs, you got to walk down the stairs there, Bunny. So now you can trim these a 1/4 inch away from your stitch line. You can use scissors, you can use your rotary cutter, whatever you're comfortable with, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because it's already sewed. I'm going to use my rotary cutter because that's just me. That's just a me thing. That's just what I like to do. And I like my corners that are cut off to be nice and clean. I'm not a really straight cutter. I don't cut very well with scissors. So that's why I don't do that. So trimming and trimming. Making sure everything looks amazing. So I'm lining up my 1/4 inch line on my stitch line, and then I'm trimming to the right of that. I don't want to trim anything off. Then if I feel that they need to be trimmed up, I will measure them and trim them up. So the stitch and flip corner does not change the size of that. It still should finish at the size it says in the. Okay. Now you don't have to keep these stitch and flip corners, but you can. You could also sew 1/2 inch away from that stitch line and have those already stitched. I feel like they work better for me as leaders and enders. But you do what works for you. This is what I do. And there's no rule that says you can't do that. You don't even have to keep them if you don't want to. That's completely your choice. So now this looks more like a flower. How cute is that? That's really cute. I really like that. Bunny, if you want to go downstairs, you gotta walk down the stairs. I am so excited about these. Oh my gosh, they look so great. I'm just gonna take one and see how close this. They actually look really good. I'm really glad I didn't trim them before because they look really, really good. Just a second. I'm just grabbing a ruler that's big enough to see if they are what I want. Yes. Yes. Yes, they're perfect. They are like they are so close. I suppose maybe I shouldn't put all this back up there. No, I'm gonna stick this on the side. That's stuff I gotta do. So now I'm behind 2 blocks with the Moda 6 block, Moda Blockhead 6. I'm 2 blocks behind. But that's okay. I printed it. I will get those made at some point. I'm not worried about it at all. I'll pick some fun fabrics from my I don't remember what fabric I'm using. Oh, I'm using Peace and Plenty, and I make each block its own color. So I have some behind me there. The next one will be probably red, and then maybe I think there's orange. I don't even know. But anyway, I'll make 2. Maybe green. Did I make a green one? Nope, I could make green and red. There we go. So I thought I would make each block one color. And then I thought like purple, blue, and yellow is what I've done. And then I thought then I would mix them up and do something different. So let's see how it goes. See how it goes. Maybe do 2 colors and then maybe do 3 colors and then we'll see where we are with the blocks. So try to have some kind of a way to do it. So these all look really great. When I was pressing them, they look really, really nice. So I'm not going to check them. I did check that one. If you feel like you need to trim yours up, go for it. But I feel like these are really well done and I really like it. Some of them are going the wrong way. That's a little annoying, so I'm going to fix them. So mine are all done. Oh, this one's a little bit shy there, but I think it's okay. Oh, this one I did wrong. Shoot. I did the wrong corners. This one is wrong. I did the wrong corner. So I made one wrong. That's okay. I can fix it. I won't fix it right now, but I will fix it. I need to make a new 4 patch and then I can use this piece over here. Yeah, I'll just fix it. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one aside, put that one aside, and I'm gonna fix it after. I'll put it on top. Because I don't sew 2 blocks together anyways. So there you go. I made a mistake. It's okay. I'm not gonna stress about it. I don't have time to stress about it. Okay. I'll fix it later. Okay, now we're going to make the center units. So we need F and G. And we're going to make 4 of these, right? 6, 8 of these. 8 units. Okay, F and G. So F and G are on the other board. So units F and units G. So my F's are this fun, bright rainbow color. And then my G, is this fun color. Fun flower print. So let's see, what are we supposed to do? We're going to take our F block. Then we're going to take our G block. And we're going to have this stick straight up like this, okay? Straight up. Oh, and you're going to sew from there to there. That is weird. Paying careful attention to the orientation of the pieces and the angle of the stitch line. Join F and G rectangles. See stitch and flip rectangles, page 12. So if you need instructions, additional instructions, go there. Oh yeah, there's always that little bit of a gap. And you're just going to sew where that piece starts. And you're going to sew down. I think that worked out right. Okay, so then I'm going to do another one. This is so that you don't have to sew that extra piece at the top. That's what we read last time, was you do this I'll show you so that you don't have to put a piece of fabric at the top or something. Yeah, it makes it a little longer. Oh yeah, there you go. There, and there'll be this extra that will cut off. Oh, that's cool. Yes, okay, that works. So you just have to just watch the placement, place it the way they ask, and we're gonna keep going. Make 8 of these. My goodness, 8 of these? 6, maybe you're only making 8, so count 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because the other 8 are made the opposite way. So I'm going to remove those because I know I will mess up if I don't do it right. And I already messed up once and I don't want to do that again. Again, I'm not too worried about it. I can fix it. It's an easy fix. And it's been a long day. Not a bad day, just it was a busy day and it was long. And I am a little stressed. I know I am. I can feel it. I'm trying not to be. That's why I went and spent some time in the garden, just not thinking about things. And yeah, so I work for Quilts for Survivors, and it's a nonprofit organization. And we don't receive any regular funding from anywhere. We don't have anyone giving us, $1,000 every month for something. We don't have that. And when you're trying to run a business, pay staff. Most of our staff is sponsored by some organization somewhere. It's really, really hard. And my salary comes out of donations. And that makes it really hard as well because if the donations don't come in, I'm not going to get paid, which is a little scary, but it's never happened. I've always been paid since I started working there. I've been working there for 3 years now, full time. And I didn't start this work to get paid. I started it because I really felt there was a need for it, and to ask for money to help support me to stay on. It's hard for me to do that, but we do need support. So if you know of anyone who, any company or an organization that might give money, if you want to write to your MP or your MPP and encourage them to help us find some funding, that would really go a long way. It's hard when there's quilts sitting there and you're waiting for your overhead bills to come out so that you can, go see if you have any money left to go buy boxes so you can ship them. So that's my reality, and it's a little hard. Because the whole point of doing, Quilts for Survivors is to send out these quilts. It's not to give people a job. That's not the main reason, but you need people to do the work. And you need to pay them fairly. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to trim this. I don't know. Wait, no. Okay, so we're going to trim this and then press it. Trim. Trim. Trim again. Woohoo! This is fun. This is going well. And I think I did them all right this time. Don't think I made a boo-boo. And we'll press them. And if you need more instructions on this stitch and flip rectangle, it's on, I believe it's page 12 of the book. You can check it out. I did read it the last time, so I'm not going to read it now. I did look at it briefly just to make sure that I was doing it right. Okay. So those are done. I'm going to stick those there. That file just keeps growing, especially with these. There's lots of stitch and flip or triangles. So then just pressing it. So setting that seam to relax those threads and then just pressing it back. And I won't, I will not trim these until after. I'm always a little bit like, what if I trim and I need that extra space when I'm sewing? So I try to just leave it there so that I can sew it. Sew it well. This is going to be really fun. This is really going to stand out against all that other blue colors. So the center is really going to stand out in my block. Oh, I got to do my puzzle piece now. Hi, Bunny. Hi, Bunny Bunny. Okay, if you want to go downstairs, go. You can do the stairs, love. Oh, my puzzle piece just does not want to. I don't think this thing likes me very much. Come on. Yay! 6 times the charm, I guess. Okay, where's Bunny? Where'd she go? Here. Well, I'm not gonna chase you, but if you would let me pick you up, I would go bring you down the stairs. All right, let's do the next step. So we're not using these yet. We're going to finish with these pieces now. So we're going to do is you're going to add H to this side. So we need 8 of those. I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I might have cut extra because I'm not sure. We'll see H, and then we're going to lay it out this way. And in this left corner, place that, and then stitch from corner to corner. So I'm going to stitch left corner to corner. And I always like, so I'm going to flip these. I always like to sew from the, not the corner, the opposite side. I find that just to be easier. It doesn't get stuck under my feet dogs. But you do what works for you. This is just what works for me. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Your seam. And then we also need to add another piece to this. So we're just going to do this piece and then we'll add the other. So this is your background color going on these. This one's a bit of a press. It's a little creased there. A little extra creased. Don't need all that creasing. Really nice. I like this. Hey, don't do that. I have one more of these. And before you cut it, you can always check to make sure, and then you won't, you can always rip it out and see. So let's see. I think these are also in the same way. So they're supposed to look, I did it wrong. Shoot, I did all these wrong. Yeah, I did them all wrong. Damn it. They're not supposed to join together like a flying geese. They're supposed to go the other way. Time to get the seam ripper out. This is why I'm glad I checked, because I would have just went and cut them, and then they would have all been incorrect. So I'm going to rip them out, and I'm going to resew them. Okay, this happens. This happens to the best of us, to all of us at some point where we make a boo-boo. And because I chain piece, it's a boo-boo times however many pieces I'm sewing together. Okay, so I should have sewed from this way. This way. Okay. Hey, she's barking at the cat for being a cat. Okay, I'm gonna sew this again. I gotta make sure. Hey, stop that. So this way. Right. Well, I hope that you didn't make the same mistake I did. I really hope that you did better. I want to see now if it's the right way. Where is it here? It's here somewhere. The right way. The right way. No, this is the wrong way. This is the wrong way. Where is the right way one? No, this one's this one. Yeah, okay. So they're supposed to look like that. That's better. I'm gonna say something, but sorry, I can't see it. It's just should be here. My mom, my mom just got triggered by the barking. Oh, my dog. Oh, I'm sorry. She's just a silly. She's barking at the cat. It's just sitting there. Anyways, that's how it's supposed to look. So it's supposed to be opposite corners. And I had two same corners. So no, Bunny, no. Let's keep going here. Oh, I'm sorry about the dog barking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you tell I'm a little flustered today? I just have a lot going on. Let's do it the opposite way. So I'm just going to do it the right way. I don't normally make this kind of a mistake. That's okay. It's possible. All right. I will have to do a works in progress video and show you what I've been up to and what I'm working on and the progress of some of the quilts that I've been working on for months now. I am happy to say that I just have to sew the borders on my dragon fruit block with a month and that'll be done. It was supposed to be done in June and well, it's still June. And then what am I doing? That one's correct. That means we're trying. My big witch quilt is a bit behind. And I met someone who was also doing that. And they said they're a little bit behind too. It's just a lot sometimes to keep up with. So hey, stop it. So my advice, double check, make sure that your seams are your pieces are all going the way they're supposed to. So double check, triple check, make sure because it's very easy to just look at it and go, okay, I got to go this way, and then so it's incorrect. And someone had asked me, I think it was last week, if I make test blocks. Don't you make test blocks before you do anything? I'm like, no, that's a waste of fabric. I told you that. Hey, stop it. You little cutie. There's nobody here. It's just me and the kids. So me and the kids. There's nobody here. It's just me and the pets. So there's no one to say, hey, I'll take the dog downstairs. I'm working on my first quilt today. Wow, congratulations. Like your first quilt ever? That's amazing. That's wonderful. Congratulations. Welcome to the crazy world of quilting. That is amazing. I love sewing. I love creating. I love seeing something, fabric that I've picked and cherished and cut up and sew together, come and make something. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I love it. I love the feeling of creating something of art, but it also keeps us warm. It can also honor people. It's just amazing. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. All right. So we're sewing this now. I think I've got them all going the right way now. That was a little frustrating, I must say. But you know what? That's why we have seam rippers. Have been able to fix it. I think we're good. Okay, so now I feel like I need to check to make sure that they're all going the right way. There is another little piece that needs to sew on, and you can sew it on. I need to check them and make sure that they're good. So that's what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to check them. I need to check them because I made them all wrong. So I need to make sure that they're all right. Okay, so away from the center, away, and I will sew that little piece on. I just really need that confirmation that they are now all going the right way. Yes. Yes. Well, that looks cool. Okay. I like it. Okay. Where's that dog? I've run over her because she's so small. So I don't want to do that again. Okay. So now what we're going to do is it tells us to take C. Take a C square, which is your C fabric, fabric 1, fabric 3. And you're going to sew it in this corner up here. Yes. So it should have your F, your G, and your C up in the corner. Okay. Opposite would be, okay. So now I just watch that you put it on right and you stitch down. So just watch that you're putting it in the right corner. Hey, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to put it in here. I'm not going to give you a direction. Like, I know it's the upper right. And then stick down. Follow the directions on the page so that you don't make a goof. Make a goof. We want it to be this corner here. It's a little bit wonky, so I'm gonna have to trim that one corner because that's a little bit off. Don't want that mistake. Well, that one too is a little bit off. I'm just trimming these corners because it's a little bit extra fabric on there. So I'm just going to trim that over if I need to. Oops. Sticking these in the corners, the C fabric, the fabric 3. Fabric 3. Can be really any fabric. I picked my fabric according to the chart. So she has a chart where she has the fabric that she's using. And then I printed the blank one and put my own fabric in there so that I would know what I was doing. And I have the right, you can do that. It's a good guide. And then when you get to cutting the fabric for the block, you can change it up as much as you want. You don't have to follow that if you don't want to. It's your block. You do what works for you. And I've done that. I changed some of the fabrics because I didn't like I didn't like it. I thought I could do better with something else there. A pattern is just a suggestion. Some people are using their scraps, which is great. These are great blocks to use scrap. I did that last time and I thought it was great. All right. Go. Okay, those are done. Those are done. Now you have to do them again. So F again, I'm gonna worry about cutting those up later because it's just trimming. I want to do this and I want to make sure I do it right while my brain is still in the right mode, the right frame mind. Okay. Oh, no, I couldn't. Okay. I was going to say I could have used those, but I sewed those. Okay, so now this one's going to go like this and it's going to hang off the bottom. So it used to, last time it hung off the top, now it's going to hang off the bottom. We're going to stitch it this way. Okay. So stitching. This one, you might need to draw the line on. It might be easier. Stitch and stitch. Okay, and then hello? What is your ETA? 5 o'clock. It's like almost 8. Very bad delivery. And then I was looking for something today. I can't find it. Not the fabric. It was something else. I have no idea. I've looked everywhere where I could possibly think of it would be. I think I lost it. And it's something of importance. So, anyways, okay. So stitching these on. So you don't have to follow the way that I sew and have this huge pile of stuff piled up. You stop wherever you want. I just thought that I wanted to make sure I did these correctly because I had messed up the last time. I really wanted to make sure that I didn't mess up a second time. So that's why I chose to just do these now. I wanted to ensure that I did them correctly. You sew it however you want. Surprising, that had a bit of a wrinkle in it. I didn't want that. So again, watch your diagrams in any pattern, not just this one, but in any pattern, watch, double check. You can always sew one before you start chain piecing them, which is what I should have done. I should have sewn one, checked the piecing just to make sure. Not that I need to sew a whole bonus, a whole block prior, like a sample first. But if I had it checked, I would have saved myself a lot of headache, ripping all that out. But no harm done. Nothing happened. Nobody got hurt. So it's all good. Okay, so now we're going to sew down. And then we're going to do that. And then there we go. So that's done. Now that hopefully it should be all good. So now let's go over. We're going to do some trimming here. And this is how I sew. I do sew a lot where I sew a bunch until I can't sew anything else, and then I trim. And I press, or I like to do it in stages. So we know those are good. The ones that have the little guys on them are good. So now these are the new guys. And we wanted to go up like, is that how it's supposed to look? That's right. Okay, so if I did them all that way, then they're all right. I did them all the same. So that's the nice thing about whatever this is, chain piecing, is if you do it, you get it right the first time, you get them all right. However, if you get them wrong, as I just proved, you can get messed up. So let's trim these. And we'll press them. Sometimes the white is hard, the thread is hard to see on these things. So these look really good, I think. Perhaps I'll finish with these ones. I would suggest you pick the fabric where you can see the stitches a little better. I'm a little nervous to cut that, but now this, I'm not gonna keep this. This is too small. I won't keep that. I don't deal with that. With that tiny piece. No, thank you. To me, that's just not, it's too hard to sew together. So cutting off a little, I could just cut that with a rotary with scissors, it doesn't matter. I don't want to cut it that way. Which I might do. I might just take the scissors. Just cut all those little pieces off. Because these are so small, it's hard to not. It's when I have to move the scissors and cut another, piece longer than that, then I find that hard to cut because I don't cut straight. When I have to cut again, then there'll be like a cut to snip. This is easy to do. There we go. Okay, now that one is done. Trim that. It's going okay. So far, so good. I always want to cut it that way, and that's wrong. Trim. And then one more. What are you doing? Hey, funny bunny. Okay. Now let's press them all. I hope you're all doing really well on your block and you're having fun. I hope you didn't make mistakes. Oh gosh, but it's fun. It's fun. This block's gonna turn out great. And I'm only gonna sew one together because I do have that other little mistake to make. So I made two mistakes today. Oh my gosh. Crazy. But it's okay. Can't sweat the small stuff. You just can't. You can't. It's too short. No, we need to press this better. Yeah. We gotta make sure that we do what we need to do. Okay, so I've got three, and now I have to make sure that I don't mess up my blocks, that I have them separated. Because these will go together. So this is half of our center. This one is now complete. That's half of our center block. Okay, and then that's the other half. Actually, I think they go this way. Yeah, I think they go this way. Do they go together like that? No, they go together. Like that. Okay, whatever. I'm just the one making it. I don't have to understand it. Pressing, this is where pressing comes. Remember, we're pressing, we're not ironing. You don't want any pleats, creases, or any kind of duck, you know. And I've done it where I've pressed my thing wrong and I've repressed it and it fixed it, repressed it, and it is larger. My block wasn't the right size because of the way I had pressed it. So just watch. And these, we will probably check these. I don't know if I'll check them before. This is supposed to be 9 by 4. 9 by 4. I think I have, oops, 9 by 4. This one, I know this one is a bit long, this is one I'll check. Oh, it's good. It's a good. There's a, oops, there's a little bit there and a little bit there. I'm gonna rotate it. Just make sure. Just a little bit there. There. So not a lot to cut off, but that one corner was a little bit wonky, so I want to fix it. And as you sew, the more you sew, because I know someone had said this was they're making their first quilt. As you sew, you'll get better at judging if it's right, if it's okay, if it's going to work, if you want to trim it. I still check if not most of my blocks. Because I want to be as accurate as possible. And if trimming them makes them really accurate, then that's what I want to do. So pressing. Oops, making sure. See, that didn't press very good. Making sure that that press is really flat. Really nice. Really, oops. Upside down. These ones are all done. Done. Lovely, lovely. It's nice when I sew things the right way. It's really nice and very makes you happy. Okay, so if you're just joining us, we are making the Flower Farm Sampler Quilt. We are sewing block 3, Love in the Mist. I think this was called. And we are doing the center units. I did mess up earlier. I'm going to freely admit that. But now I am back on track and I'm good to go. So we are going to take these H blocks. The center block I can't mess up on because you don't do anything to it. All right, so I want this to go down. Right, I want it to go down. So I'm going to sew from here to here. Okay. So I'm going to sew opposite. So if you want to continue sewing, if you want to sew along with us, grab a copy of the book and start sewing. We are on block 3. We're going to sew one block every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I will let you know if every week, like next week, I will, today I will let you know what we're doing for next week and so on. I'm not going to write out the whole schedule. I was going to do that, but sometimes being a busy mom, I need to be mindful that I have, other commitments and things. My kids have other things, and I just need to be mindful. But next week we are getting together. That is July 2nd. We are sewing together live here on YouTube and TikTok. I can't give you any cutting instructions, but you can sew along with me. You need the book. And I don't normally cut I don't cut anything in the video, I just sew. And I seam rip, as we've seen today. It's all good. It's all fun. It's all in good fun. Okay, just making sure that if I turn this, it's from here to here. Okay. And I do love to chain piece, so I often am doing that. I just find it's easier. Let's grab one of those. That one doesn't have another color with it. Well, let's grab a bonus block here. And I'm going to save these. I'm going to make something with it. I have a bunch that I'm trimming down. Might just make a bunch of pinwheels and then make something. So I have a couple extra blocks, which I think I knew I had. I feel like I knew that I had extra blocks. Okay, so let's go. I want to go by myself. Okay, so let's cut these apart. I'm going to cut them apart, and then I'm not going to sew them right away. I'm just going to cut them apart. And I'm going to add that extra little piece, and then I'll trim and press, because then we'll be done. All of that prep work will be done. So let's lay them back out. I need that little piece in the corner. And I wanted to make sure they were all going the right way. It looks like I did a good job there. Okay, so now we need our C fabrics, our C squares, and we're going to sew those in the upper right corner. Right? No, hang on. That is not true. We are going to sew them in the lower right corner. Okay, I was going to say that was how we sewed it last time. Lower right corner from side to side. Okay. So it's going to sew here. Good thing I looked. I'm going to do another one, but I'm pretty sure that's right. But I'm going to check it. So this one goes, yeah, is this sewed this way? Oh, there, I was going to do it again. This one goes on the bottom and sews this way. Okay. I feel like I was really fortunate to look at that. So it will be folded over this way and folded down this way. Yep, that's right. They go at the bottom. I gotta remember that. Okay. So again, pressing. I'm sitting here and my brain's going, you have laundry to put away. You have to check if your cat litter box is full because it's an automated one. I did buy an automated one because I kept forgetting about it. And I have to go check that. Dishwasher needs to be emptied. Lots of things. Lots of things. Okay, and then and again, I'm only sewing one block. I've always only sewn one block together. I will get the other block, or at least I think I have. I will get the other block sewn together after because I have to fix something on one block. So need a little whoops. A little extra creative there. All right. I always sew with my needle in the down position so that if I stop, it holds everything in place. I take a bonus block here. I think we're almost done, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna take these over. I'm only gonna work with 4 so I can get the block done and I can do the other ones after. So I have a feeling my delivery is gonna be here. If I try to make both blocks, watch my delivery, I'll get interrupted by my delivery. If I don't, then I won't. Whatever. I'm gonna just do this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4, and I'm gonna use my scissors. Similarly. my new pressing cable is getting installed tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna bring it in and put it up, and it should be beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Very, very excited and very grateful. Inch. I'm just doing 4. I do have to do 8, but I'm only going to do 4 right now. I just want to get the block finished so we can see it, and then I'll do the rest off camera. This is very exciting. This is block 3. There's 18 blocks, I think it said, in the whole pattern. And so you make multiples of all of them. I don't think there's one where you only make 1 block. The smaller ones, they'll be smaller, easier, but we'll be making more than 1. So these go, oh yeah, that looks right. Okay. And again, I only pressed and ironed half them because I just felt that's what I wanted to do. Okay, I will deal with those ones after. Okay, I'm just gonna repress that, make sure it's nice and flat. Okay, so now I'm gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they go like this, where that little corner that we stuck in there, that C fabric, goes right in the center, and it kind of makes a V. Your battery is running low. Okay, I'm gonna charge my laptop. For all the YouTube people, there's a lot of cars on my street. Someone must be having a party or something. There's a lot of cars. Whoops. Whoops, 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 whoops. Okay. Don't mind me. I am just charging something here. Don't mind me. I know that that camera turned. I think it goes over here. Okay. We're doing Flower Farm book block 3 of the quilt. It's a sampler quilt, so a good variety of blocks. I would prefer to have it tonight so I can just go to work in the morning. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so their ETA is 10:30, so we got time. Let's sew these together. I don't know what the heck they were thinking. All right, so we're going to let's sew these together. If your fabric, if you pressed seams opposite ways, then you should be good. If not, I'm just going to fold them back and I will repress them later so that they nest. Just to make it hard. If you pressed your seams open, then you probably have nothing to worry about. All right, so again, I'm only doing 4 right now. I just want to finish this one block. I do have to fix something. I keep saying that because I keep reminding myself, don't forget, you got to fix that. Okay, 2 more together. So I have 2 together. I'm going to do another set here. It does, if you follow the pressing instructions, I didn't pay attention to the pressing, it would nest better. If you follow them, then they will nest. If you follow, I should have said that earlier. If you follow the pressing instructions in the book, everything will nest. If you didn't, then you just have to just use your finger and move them so that they're right, and then just repart them. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I never pay attention to the pressing instructions. There you go. There you go. So you can just make it work then. You can just make it work. You don't have to worry about that. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you're new to quilting, there are little arrows and they tell you which way to press or press open. Some people press open, I don't press open. You'll just get the hang of it as you go along. And nesting just means that the seams set nice together. One's going up and down, one's going up, one's going down. They set nice together. Just makes it flatter. Okay, so now these are supposed to be 7.5 by 9. So let's see how well we did. Okay, so let's press. Excuse me. I think these are supposed to be pressed open. Well, it doesn't say. See, now that one doesn't have a pressing. Give you instructions, then they don't give you instructions. You're wondering about it, and then you're not. You don't know. So we're gonna see. I am gonna see if these are square. I do want to make sure that they're done right, or that that they're accurate, because they were a little bit of a struggle for me. I'm not gonna lie, they were a bit of a struggle. Looks really good though. My points are almost perfectly coming together. Like in the center where they're joining, they look really good. So that makes me feel good. That makes me, despite all the little whoops. Okay. There we go. 4. So they're supposed to be 7.5 or 7. 7.5. Okay, by 9. So I'm going to get a ruler. It's a different ruler. I don't want to use a 12.5 inch. It's too big. I'm going to grab my 9.5 inch ruler. I don't have a lot of room where I'm working right now. So let's do this. Okay. So 9. My 7. I usually try to put the straightest corners on the inside. A little bit there. Oh, actually, it doesn't look that bad. It's a little short in one area, but not enough. It's still in that 1/4 inch, so it's not make a big difference. That's fine. I'm not saying they're perfect, but they're pretty close to being exactly what they are supposed to be. This one's probably the closest one. Wow, I am. Oh, sorry. I know this. It's gonna walk along. Come on, follow me. Doesn't want to follow me. Maybe it's dying. Did it die? No, it's still going. I tried once and things just didn't nest, so I just don't pay attention. That makes sense though. All right, so now our pieces are done. So those are our center pieces, our center outer pieces. And we have a center. So I'm gonna take not the one that has the boo-boo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now another thing that you can do that I haven't done yet is you could make both of your, we're making 2 blocks. I could have made them 2 different colors. However, I did not. They're both going to be exactly the same. I think I did that when I did the Barn Star one as well. I just made them both identical, I think. If you want to make them 2 different colors, the cutting instructions are for 2 blocks, same color. If you want them to be different, then cut half of them one way and half of them the other. And just try to keep everything together. All right. Now our center is A, our A block. So that's our center. Okay. So what I'm going to do, that's the center. So now I need to see my layout. I don't have enough space to lay it out anywhere. So I'm just going to start sewing it so that this 4 patches are in the outer corner. And then this goes in the white. Okay, so now these should line up together. And everything should line up really nice. Okay, so we're going to stitch down. These are going to be 24 inches square. Let's use there. Okay, so there's that. Then you need one of these going this way with this part. And because that little insert, the tiny little triangle that we put on, the C, is the same fabric as this A fabric, we will and you want to make sure that this is turned right, that your corner block is turned correctly so that you can sew everything on. So just really follow your book to make sure. I apologize that I just don't have anywhere to lay this out. I need to take this quilt off of that because it's a work in progress. I need to take it off the wall. And put it on the other device, one that's farther away, so I will be able to put it up behind me. Over there, behind me. I just haven't yet. Okay, bonus piece. Actually, we can just cut this. I'm gonna cut this top piece. Cut this bonus block off. Okay. Open this up. Okay, that's going. See my book. That's going the right way. That looks really good. I was worried about I wasn't worried. I was a little bit like, are these colors going to be okay? Right? Because I picked my fabrics, not knowing where they go in the quilt. So I was hoping that I didn't have any errors. I didn't make any weird things. And when I was cutting them up last night, I was like, oh, should I change them or should I leave them? And I left them. I thought, no, I'm going to leave them. I think they'll be okay. And I think they're going to be really cute. Okay, that's done. I'm going to cut these off. And this is the center and one end. Then we're going to stick this end out. So again, lining it up nice and straight. We want it as straight as we can get it, as accurate as we can get it. And we're going to sew it. Okay. A couple of anchoring stitches. Then I'm just going to line this up and stitch in. Just making sure everything is straight and it's lined up as best as I can. That's the top, that's the middle, this is the bottom. So again, making sure that my corner here is going the right way. My center is a little easier. These are like star flowers. I think it's going to look great. I'm really, really excited. Okay, so lining this up. Couple of anchoring stitches. This is why I like stitching with my needle down, because then I'm able to kind of works like a placeholder for me so that I can line everything up and keep it all nice and balanced and consistent. All right. We're doing okay, folks. I think we're doing okay. I'm going to sew my bonus cloth here. Trim. I'm going to cut these threads because it's just easier because it's such a big block. If it was a smaller block, I would just leave them and just add them, sew them together without cutting those threads, but it's just easier. Okay, so I think, does it tell you which way to press it? Yeah, press out. Yeah, press out, press in. So let's press this one in. Here, come and press that in. Again, I don't have my big pressing table, so I can't use my big iron. I have to do everything with a little iron. Hopefully press it once my ironing station tomorrow. These go out. Away. That little guy's getting his way. Press away. There we go. So we're sew those together and then I'll press the move that over there for a sec. This is the part that I don't like. I don't find there's enough space on this side of the table, but it's okay. All righty, so now we're going to line these up. My main focus is my seams, where my seams nest. I want to make sure that those are accurate, that those nest. I want to make sure that those match up anywhere where I have a seam, because I can trim the outer parts and make it look better. You can't fix a seam if I sew it wrong. So I need to, I like to make sure that those are as accurate as possible. That's really important to me in my sewing. If I feel that you're drawn to that, you can see that. I'm a little confused. I wasn't sure which way my square was supposed to go there. My feet figured it out. Then just matching and lining and organizing. Okay. Pressing, making sure those press seams are going the way that I press them. Just lining everything else up. In hopes that it all works and I can trim it later. I trim it. I won't trim it tonight because my table is full of stuff that will go in the pressing table. And the back of the pressing table has pegboard, which will allow me to, I guess I can show you. Oh, that looks good. Oh, this stupid thing. That looks really good. I really like it. It's when I, come on. There we go. Right. One more to do. And then we're done. And then I'll just have to trim it. Press it and trim it. I can kind of press it tonight, but the real pressing will come tomorrow. So it took us, excuse me, about 2 hours to sew this together. Well, I probably could have been done if I hadn't made a mistake. But I took a little bit of time to resew all that. It would have been done. Don't you? I think we're getting better. And I also think that when we start making the smaller blocks, we'll do better. We will do all the blocks in the week. So if there's, I think one of them has 10 blocks, 12. We'll make 1 or 2 together and then you're on your own to get the rest done in that week. I think we're going to be doing this till October. So don't worry if you get a little bit because the summer's busy. If you get a little bit behind, that's okay. But as of right now, I feel like I'm going to be making, most of them are 2 or 3, all the blocks in that 1 week. I might not make all of them live, but I'll make all of them in the week. At least that's what I'm hoping to do. Okay. Now let's press and see how it looks. Okay. What does it say? Edges. Yes, edges. I'm not sure what that, not sure where that comment went, what the comment that went with, but let's just see. So I'm just setting that seam and I'll press it back. Now it's a little harder to press with the smaller iron on these big blocks, but I can get very consistent. So I will trim this out after I'm done. And I will show you my other blocks. They're just kind of put away because they're so big to leave out. Okay, I don't have to hang them up though. I like it. I think I like it. I think I'm okay with it. I'm okay. Okay. So there is my block, my finished block 3. So I'm going to stick it up on the design board, design wall, so you can see it. I do have to fix it. Okay, check it out. There it is. Oh, I'm kind of in the way. There it is. Look at that. I think it turned out great. I was a little concerned about having 2 really, like a light kind of a white color and then the really colorful fabric, but I think it turned out really nice. I like it. What color was that? I don't think they were, yeah, no, they were both very light and very pale in there as well. So I think it turned out really nice. And my corners match up really well, even though some of them were slightly smaller. Like some of these are a little, they were slightly wonky, but when you put it all together and you know how to nest your seams, match up your seams, and you know how to play within that 1/4 inch seam allowance, your blocks can turn out absolutely stunning, even though you have a slight whoops to them, which I did in some of my blocks, but I think they look really great. So now that's it for class tonight. Thank you for joining. I hope your blocks are turning out really well. I'm going to finish sewing the other one together later, and we'll be back next Wednesday. I'll be back other times, things, but next Wednesday I'll be back. Love. Oh, I love. Thank you. I will be back next Wednesday, July 2nd. I think I have it recorded to do a live. Yes, we're gonna do a live. So be ready for that. So cut up block 4. It's our first 16.5 inch block. It is called Primrose. Oh, it's pretty. And it's this block right here. This block right here in the corner is that block there. There's 2 of them in the quilt, and that's what we're going to be making next week. So thank you again for joining. Have a good night. Thanks for sewing with us all. Aw, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Enjoy all of the fun of sewing. Again, I'll finish my second block after, and we'll be ready for next week. I did say I was going to show you my blocks. I'll go grab them real quick. I don't think I've squared them up yet. I don't believe that I've squared them up yet. So this was block 1. This was the first block. So this one has the white background. And then this is the second block that has a polka dot background, which is fun too. So there you go. Those are my blocks. That's where I'm at so far. So there's block 1, 2, and 3. And hopefully next time I'll have a free design wall and I can stick them up there for you. Thank you so much again for joining. Chi-miigwech. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you later. We'll see you later. Miigwech.